gonna be. No matter what comes our way, we'll be together.
Welcome to Homeschooling Down South. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Kat. We're two Southern homeschooling mamas sharing real talk, resources, and inspiration for life and learning in the Southeast.
Each week, we'll chat with inspiring voices in the homeschool community, highlight must-see nature spots and field trip gems, and share resources from across the region.
Whether you're new to homeschooling or a seasoned pro, pull up a chair and join us as we celebrate the joy, freedom, and community of homeschooling down south.
We'll laugh together, we'll learn together, find the joys in life together, give each other grace and space to be.
Welcome back to Homeschooling Down South. Y'all, we're so excited because this week we are talking to Jessy Fagerstrom. She is the Wild and Free group leader in Gwinnett County, Georgia. Welcome, Jessy. We're so excited you're here.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited.
We were so happy to meet you at the Southeast Homeschool Expo this past summer. And it was the opportunity both for Kayla and I to learn a lot from you, but also for us to have this bond over Wild and Free and invite you to come on the podcast. So we are going to talk about all of those things. But first, we got to know, how did you end up in homeschooling?
Oh, yes. You know, COVID has rocked our world. I don't know if that you guys can say that for you, but certainly it rocked our world. We were living out in Los Angeles where it was real bad. And so we were stuck in our house. And so we were forced to kind of decide what that meant for us, right? And so as we started to dabble with how are we going to educate our children at home? And thankfully, my children were quite small at the time, so there wasn't a lot to lose. But we started dabbling, and I sort of said to my husband, man, I feel like we could maybe do this. Like, we could do this. We could make this an actual thing beyond COVID. And we have. So I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and we've just been rocking and rolling for the last 3 years homeschooling, and we just adore it. It is literally the best thing that our family has ever done. It's just a bundle of fun. It's hard at times, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So that's how we started.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that you were living in California.
We were during the dark days. Then we decided to move out where there are more trees because there were very few trees where we were in Los Angeles. But my husband he works in film. And so we were trying to figure out, like, how does he continue working in film, but not being we lived in Hollywood, in the heart of Hollywood. So we're like, how do we do this? But we figured it out.
Atlanta. That's the
Atlanta.
place.
And I love it here. I love it here.
That's awesome. So remind me again, your grades roughly of your kids?
Yes. So I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. So I have a preschooler and a second grader.
So what does a normal homeschool day, and we will talk about the morning routine later because that's my jam. But once you get past that morning routine, what does your kind of rhythm look like?
Okay. Yep. So as you mentioned, we get up, we put on our CNN 10. The boys eat their CNN 10 is morning news. The boys eat their breakfast, and we have our morning time. And then after morning time, we move into a brain break exercise moment, and we read a book. And then the boys come downstairs with me to our classroom area, and that is where we tackle language arts and math. So we always put the fun, beautiful, lovely family building stuff right at the beginning of the day to start the day off. And in our family, we don't begin with math and language arts. We want the good stuff first. And that works really well for us. So we're done by around noon each day.
So you mentioned that during these dark days, stuck at home during COVID, you started to sort of explore this idea and realize that it could happen. And I'm hearing you say things like morning time. And I'm just wondering, as you were exploring, like, what were the influences that you were researching or diving into? What things really spoke to your heart as you were trying to decide?
I love that. Well, so I'll first say that I went to school to be a teacher. So I have a degree in education, and then I have my master's in international educational development, which is looking at education internationally. So I was in the public school system and then the private school system. And then I said, I gotta not be in either of these systems. I said, I want to go home to that system. And so I had to really unlearn quite a lot of things. But there are some things that I can take from that and think about what worked and what didn't. But for us, the arts are really important. So I'm talking about music, I'm talking about like visual art, I'm talking about poetry. So we are definitely a Charlotte Mason inspired homeschool family. And that is really like the bread and butter of our homeschool. So during those dark days, um, I did read a lot of the Charlotte Mason stuff. There are parts of Charlotte Mason that don't align with my family values. However, there's a lot that does. So certainly Charlotte Mason was huge. And then we're a unit study family. So we love a good theme. We attach ourselves to a good theme. So those were kind of the thing. I feel like unit studies and then Charlotte Mason, and then sort of from there being a little eclectic, kind of pulling in things that we feel align with our family values. Obviously, like things from the faith side as well. So hymns and scripture and all of that jazz. So it's kind of been like grabbing all this different stuff and just kind of creating something with it, if that makes sense, kind of
Yeah.
smushing it all together. And it's taken a few years really to come up with a system that is efficient, that, my kids can absorb. It's taken some trial and error for sure.
It's a little bit in my mind as you were talking, I'm like, "Oh, it's Franken-School." Like, we all make our own Franken-Schools, right?
Gosh, I love that so much.
Yes, like,
That is amazing.
in the best way possible, right? Because we're given all of these pieces, but I think truly, because I consider myself an eclectic homeschooler, and I think to some extent everybody is somewhat of an eclectic homeschooler, right?
Totally.
Because we're taking all these different pieces, like, oh, I like that. It's much like your menu for morning time. We're like, oh, I like that. Well, I like this, and it's what Franken-School fits my family
Yes.
best. I love it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, okay. That's amazing. I love that. I'm totally stealing that.
Well,
Fantastic.
and if you're not paying attention to your kids and how they're responding to what you're doing, like it should end up being this conglomeration of all these things that
Right.
align with family values. So you mentioned that a couple times, Jessy. So for the person who's listening and is thinking, I want that. I want to like make decisions that align with my family values. How do you do that? What
Okay.
does that look
So
like?
yes. So we I wouldn't say the first year. I'd say the first year was a little bit of a flop for us, right? So you have to fail to succeed, right? So first year was a little bit of a flop. Second year, I'm like, okay, we need to come up with a family vision statement or like a homeschool vision statement. And I know that might sound really cheesy, but it's actually helped so much because there are a million things that you could choose for your homeschool. There are a million curricula, there are a million field trips. There are a million things you can choose. And, if you want a Franken-School that actually aligns with your family, right? You need to know what it is that you're trying to do. Right? If you can think 18 years in the future and you see your children in your mind's eye, like, what is this kid? Who is this person? Right? And then kind of work backwards from there. So that's how we decide. And it might seem silly, like, okay, this field trip, do I want to spend $30? Does that align with like what we're trying to get to in 18 years? Like, maybe that's a little extreme, but that's kind of how we approach it. And it actually helps because it takes away the decision fatigue, right? We don't
Yeah.
have to like always be wondering, am I doing the things I should be doing? Well, yeah, I am because it aligns with my vision.
I think that's a good point because it can get overwhelming so fast
Yeah.
to do
Oh,
all the
yeah.
things or
There are all the things. I mean, there are
yes,
so many things, right? Yeah.
there's so many curriculum choices. There's so many field trips you could go on. There's
Oh.
so many ways you can spend your time. And if you don't take that time to
Mhm.
really figure it out so that you have a framework for making decisions,
Right.
so wise. Okay, so somewhere in there, Jessy, along comes Wild and Free. Tell us about
Yes.
how did you find Wild and Free?
Okay, yeah, good questions. I love listening to podcasts, so love your podcast. I'm gonna plug that in there. But I love listening to podcasts, and so I actually stumbled upon the Wild and Free podcast, which had a lot of really great stuff. And so I listened back to a lot of that stuff. And then, of course, there's the Wild and Free book. And I think I was just made aware that outdoor education was important and that there were a lot of benefits. Have you guys ever heard of Tinker Garden? Does that ring a
Yes.
bell?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was a Tinker Garden teacher for 2 years and I really loved it. It was really great. And my kids were little, so it was perfect. But I was really appalled by how much money people were spending to come out to nature and spend time with friends and do activities. Like it was very expensive. And so when Tinker Garden kind of phased out, because they have sort of phased out, there for lots of reasons. I thought to myself, there's got to be a way for me to continue that kind of work that I really loved, but with homeschoolers and also not make them pay, $300 for 8 sessions. There's got to be a way
Yes.
to make this more accessible to people. And so when I found out through the podcast, hey, you can have a Wild and Free group, I thought, I wonder maybe that is a good way to get kids outside and to give my own kids an opportunity to delight in nature with other children. And that's how it all began. And so I signed up to be a leader and I had my first event and nobody came.
Yeah.
Because that's how it goes,
Yeah.
right? So I had to take a deep breath and say, it's okay. It was just the first one. And then we had the second meeting and two people came. It's like, okay, we're getting somewhere now.
Progress.
We're rocking and rolling. So, it's been a slow process of growth, but I'm a woman of faith, so I attribute this to the Lord, but I feel like our group has been very blessed and we are a big, beautiful group of people now. And I can't even imagine what my life would be like without Wild and Free and without the friends that I've made. So that's how Wild and Free began. But certainly the first time, man, nobody showed up. I was like, okay. Yeah.
See,
Your experience has been like, though.
I'm curious, when did you start your group?
So we started 2.5 years ago.
That's about the
So it's
same.
been
About the
about the
same.
same.
Yeah, we
Okay.
started we
Nice.
started just 3 years ago last month, and
Congrats. That's
it
awesome.
was it was that first time I was like, I don't know, I have no idea what's gonna happen, and my son was really young, he was 2. So
Yep.
I was
Yeah.
I should I even be doing this? Am I
Right.
allowed to do this without
Right.
a school-aged kid? And I
Exactly.
had one mom and her daughter was younger than my son come to the first one. And
Perfect.
so that worked out, and she is still in the group today, which is
I
awesome.
love that.
And for a little while, it was like at the first meetup, there was one other family. At the second one, there was 2 families. At the third one, there was
Yes.
3, and that was Kayla's family was our 3rd family, 3rd
Oh,
meetup.
yeah. Awesome.
Uh, and then it's just grown from there, but it's interesting because I had another Wild and Free group leader say to me one time that no 2 years of the group will ever be the same, and that has been the
Mm.
most true thing. And I went into it thinking every meetup will look and feel exactly the same way, and
Right.
we will
Right.
all have just finished reading a review of The Call of the Wild and Free by Anthony Arment. We'll just have finished reading it. We'll all come here and we'll talk about that chapter that we all just read, and it's been so
Oh,
different,
that's
but
fun.
I feel the same way. It's amazing how it's grown, how it's changed, how it's changed me, how
Oh,
it's blessed me with just the most amazing people. So
yeah.
it's an amazing thing. Okay, so I feel like Kayla, you were about to ask a really important
Yeah,
question.
I was just curious. You had this first meetup, nobody there. The second meetup, you have a family show up. So, how many families do you have in the group now?
So we have 1,500 families in our network on Facebook. So if you go to
What?
Wild and Free Gwinnett, we have 1,500 families. And can I share a win? I know, like,
Yes.
I'm going to share more wins later on, but can I share a win?
Yes.
Yes.
We meet every Tuesday morning. This morning, we had 95 families come today.
Oh my
My
gosh.
gosh.
Families. We filled the entire parking lot and more.
Yeah, you did.
So that was definitely one of those moments where I have to look within and say, oh, I can't believe this. I think back to that one day where no one came, and it's like,
Yeah.
we have come so far.
Yes.
so, so yeah. So I'm very grateful for that. We have a huge group of people. And we average about 60 to 70 families a week.
Wow.
Is
How
our
do you
is our like
keep that straight? I mean, do you have committees? That's wild.
We do, and there are people that lead different things. We also have a program for our 9 and up. We have our Nature Ambassador program, which is just for our older kids, and we have a mom that leads that. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And the cool thing is I feel like if ever I needed to leave, if ever I needed to step back, and you probably feel this in your group too, you have those core moms, right? That if ever you needed to take a minute, that it would just keep going. That, even though I was the one that signed the paper to begin with or whatever, that it would continue beyond me, that's the goal, I feel like.
Absolutely. And it's a great testament to you can't expect to just do it alone. So
Oh, for sure.
I'm our group leader, but Kayla has been in a leadership capacity for years now. And I mean, to your point of being able to step back, I had a surgery almost 2 years ago
Yeah.
and was not able to do
Yeah.
all the things. And it's amazing how people step up and they step into those roles. And they have, and the thing about it is they have great ideas too. They have better ideas than me. And
For
it
sure.
just makes the group, like you said, the one who signed the paper, who made the thing happen, answered the call, and then it grows from there into its own thing. Wow. That is amazing how many families you have. And I hope somebody listening that wants to create and build something then doesn't feel defeated when they create it and nobody comes or only one person comes.
Yeah.
Because in 2.5 years, it could be 95 families.
Crazy. It was crazy today. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So,
We one
so
time had 16 families come and we filled a parking lot. So trying
hey,
to
you filled that parking
imagine.
lot. Like, yes.
You're closer to the
That's
city. Your
awesome.
parks are bigger. Your parking
I
lots
mean,
are bigger.
that's also that is also true.
I think that's such a cool thing too to look at the juxtaposition of our group up here in Gordon County and your group in Gwinnett, and yet
Mhm.
they're both under Wild and Free. They both have these same values and these same core things, and we're doing it in this very rural area. You guys are doing it in a little bit more metropolitan area, but you're both doing it, and you're both providing families in your area this community to be a part of, which is truly incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some wild and free leaders that I know, they say, okay, we got our 10 families or whatever, and that's it, that they don't open it to anyone else, right? They say like that feels good to me, that 10, right? These are the people we're going to do life with. And that is just as awesome too, because you
Yeah.
have those 10 families that you can grow with and that you can invest in too. So that's just equally as amazing as having just those few families that you connect with.
Yeah, we have a ton of freedom. We're given a lot of
Yes.
autonomy over our groups. Like,
Yeah.
and one of the things that I've had to learn is that it has to work for me for it to work for the
Mhm.
group.
For sure. Yeah.
Because if it's not working for me, then I can't lead well. And so every group leader gets to really decide, what does that mean? Does that mean that you use Facebook or you use Band or you use GroupMe? Does that mean that you have a capacity of the number of families that can participate, or do you keep it open? I mean, I know some group leaders run them as like true co-ops with a
Mhm.
fee to participate, but we are all given that autonomy to respond to our communities, but
Yeah.
also to lead from our own strengths and our needs too. And that is a really beautiful thing about Wild and Free.
Yes.
Okay, so
Agreed.
what are some of the things that you guys do? What does Wild and Free in the South look like to you?
Yes. So we do a bunch of different things. So we have annual events. So first I'll talk about what we do every year, our annual events. We have our lantern walk, which is where we meet in a park in the winter time and we walk through and with handmade lanterns that we make. We have our firefly walk, which is in the summertime at night where we go and we all try to catch the fireflies.
Oh my
We've
gosh,
we
that's so
this
fun.
Yeah, this year we combined that with our a mothball, which is where you get a piece of white fabric and there's a special bulb, you shine it on there and all the moths go onto the sheet. And so we call it the mothball. So we did our firefly walk and our mothball, and that's super fun because the kids can identify, like, we brought some of our about moths or whatever, and so we that was really fun. So we do that. We have our annual water park day. Gotta have a good water park day. We always do some kind of either blueberry picking or apple picking or something. We have our annual Earth Day hike, which is a cleanup hike. So we partner with Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful, which is the part of our county government that takes care of cleaning up parks. And so we partner with them. We have our outdoor movie night every fall around Halloween time. So we have got one of those huge screens, right? The blow up screens or whatever. And we go out in the park and we watch a movie. We also march in our city's parade each fall, which is really fun. And so we get t-shirts every year. Every year it's a different design or whatever. This year that says "I love mud" is what it says on the front. One of our
gosh.
kids designed it this year. So we were very excited about marching in our parade and with our I Love Mud. We
I love
also we do our book clubs August to December and then January to May. We do a book. So everybody reads the book and then we end with a feast. So our last feast we did was at a lake beach for Swiss Family Robinson. And so all the families read the book, and then we had this big party on the lake beach for Swiss Family Robinson. We made crafts. We did all sorts of different things for that. We also have twice a year our mercantile event, which is where we allow children to bring things that they've made and sell them. So it's an opportunity for kids to be entrepreneurs and they make money. My kids made a lot of money this year. I was surprised. We came home and each boy had $50. I was like,
Wow.
okay, they could go to Target and buy something. So they were very excited about that. And then our big annual event, our big one, it's also kind of like our fundraiser for the year, is Camp Wild and Free. So we rent out an entire state park. And last year we had, I want to say, 45 families that came, but it's an overnight in cabins. Each family gets their own cabin. So we do Camp Wild and Free, and that's super fun. This next year, we're going to have an archery instructor. We get to go out on the lake on the kayaks and the canoes. We have a field day at Camp Wild and Free, all sorts of different things that we do out there. So those are our every year kind of things. And then obviously I told you that we meet every Tuesday mornings. We bring out people, like we had an arborist come out and helped us identify the trees in our nature classroom. We've had a yoga instructor come out and do yoga in the forest. We had our mobile dairy classroom. Have you guys ever done that they bring the cow out and you can see them milk it? It's pretty cool.
That's so cool.
We do special events. We had a photographer come out and teach us about photographing nature. And then we have our exploration hikes, which are just a hike, right? So that's like Amicalola Falls or a really beautiful fall like hike somewhere. So we do those like exploration type hikes where there's no programming, but it's a hike that you can come and enjoy with us. And then lastly, to mention, some of our Tuesday events are also handicraft events. So we're making things. We've done like seed paper for Valentine's Day, or we did a woodworking in nature one where a woodworker came out and helped us with that. We've done forest leprechaun traps for St. Patrick's Day.
So fun.
And landscape painting was really fun. We had an artist come out and teach us how to paint our outdoor classrooms. And then Mom's Night. So we also, for our community, have a monthly Mom's Night where the moms leave the kids and we go out and enjoy time, just us. So
So
we're busy
important.
people. We got all sorts of stuff going on. We're busy over here. And this year we have two new things that we've never done before that we are doing this fall. We have our spelling bee, which is going to be open to everybody in Georgia because we're trying this out this year. And then next year, we're going to try to do it through the National Spelling Bee so that they can actually go to their regional or whatever spelling bee. So spelling bee.
That's so cool.
And then we're doing a Pinewood Derby this year where the kids will create their own little cars and race them. So we've
Wow.
never done that before. We're trying it this year. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm super excited to race some Pine Derby cars
That's
this
so
year.
cool.
Should be very
My
cool.
gosh.
So those are some of the things that we get up to. We're busy over here.
You're busy.
We're busy.
So
We're
lots
busy.
of people, you're keeping a lot of people busy because you have a large group
Yes.
and a
yeah,
full
well, exactly.
calendar.
Exactly. So all of those things that I mentioned are headed up generally by someone, right? So
Yeah.
it's not just me. There are many other people who are in charge of those things, and they're fabulous, and they do such great jobs, and they get people to help them, they get committees, they figure it out. So it's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
That is
That's so
so
cool.
incredible that you keep, like, and I know you've got a team, but to just keep all
Oh
of
yeah.
these things going,
Yeah.
and people all the time are like, "Well, your kids are gonna miss out on field day, or your kids are gonna miss out on this," and, like, Wild and Free Gwinnett is not missing out on anything.
No, these kids are getting way more than I ever got. I think of myself, because I went to public school. I was a public school
Yeah.
kid. There are so many of these things that I feel like are healing my own childhood. Because it's like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I get to do these things that I would have loved to do some of these things as a kid, right? And it was just a different time. It was a different time and place. But yeah, yeah. They don't miss out on anything. They're all the way in. They're doing all the things.
So how long had y'all lived in California before moving out here?
So I met my husband in California and we lived there, I want to say for 3 or 4 years before we
Okay.
moved here. Yes.
So
But
what do you love about homeschooling in the South? What have you found that you're like, "Oh, this is unique to this region and I love it."
yes, I really love that there's not a lot of oversight and that I can do it the way I want to do it. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. I really like that there are rules, right? Of course. And we're going to follow the rules and we're going to do the things we need to do. But I just hear about other states having so much more that you have to worry about. And so I'm grateful that I get a lot of in my child's education, basically. I also really love nature here because, again, California, there are parts of California that are gorgeous. However, I definitely lived in the desert part with very few trees and one park. And so I really love that Atlanta is like a city in a forest. There's so much nature
Mm,
here, and I just love that so much. It's also a really great place to travel from.
Yes.
So
yeah.
which I appreciate so much that really we are on the cusp of the world from here, right? A little bit more about my homeschool. We are part-time world schoolers, so we do a lot of travel, and so I don't think we could do as much travel as we do,
Yeah.
if we were in Atlanta. And okay, I also feel like the people are way nicer here. Let's be real. I really think the people here are way nicer than some of the individuals that I have had the pleasure of meeting. Like Southern hospitality is actually a real thing, at least in my own experience. And so I really love that. Are you
That's
guys from
awesome.
here originally or did you move here from somewhere else?
Nope, my ancestors came over from Europe in the 1700s and decided Cobb County was where it was at, and I live about an hour north of there now, and that's about as far as anybody's ever strayed, so I am as native as they get.
Though that's hilarious.
And mine's a little different. My family actually has roots in Georgia, but
Okay.
I was raised in Northern California among the
Where it's
redwoods.
beautiful. I was
Yeah,
gonna say where it's beautiful.
the place where the nature is beautiful in California. Yes,
Wow.
and we moved to Atlanta in 2013, and we've been
Oh,
either around Atlanta or we were in South Carolina for a little bit, and now we're here an hour north of Atlanta. And so, but it's always felt like coming home to me because this is where my
yeah.
grandparents were. So I love it
Yeah.
here. When
Oh,
you were
that's
talking about the firefly event, like, I have a thing for fireflies. I've talked about it before on the podcast, and that sounds like a really sweet event.
very
Convince if I could convince our group to stay up that late.
We definitely try to find an extremely forested area where they come out rather early
Yeah.
so that we're not up super late. But yes, that's totally I understand that.
Okay, so you mentioned you get to do it your way, and how we got to meet you is you were sharing some of your way at the Southeast Homeschool Expo. So what we wanna know first is how did you get to that arena?
To the homeschool expo?
Yes, like, how did you become
How'd
a
you get
You guys
presenter
are gonna
connected?
there?
laugh at me. You guys are gonna laugh at me. So I went there to the Southeast Homeschool Expo the year prior, and I went to a couple of workshops, and my friend leaned over to me and said, "You should teach. You should teach something here." So I waltzed up to the desk at the Southeast Homeschool Expo. I said, I know you don't know me from Adam. I know I'm some rando, but is there somebody I can email? Like, because I'd really love to say something.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, that's all I did. So if there's anybody out there that's like, I have something to share, just waltz right up to them at that desk and say, who can I email?
Yeah.
You are our
I'm
people
nobody.
for sure.
Because I'm nobody. Like I'm just another mom. But I will tell you that a lot of people said that they were very happy to find a speaker that wasn't selling anything,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because a lot of them are like pushing their agenda or whatever, right? So I feel like if we all get together, all the moms, we can become the speakers. It could just be us. We can just talk to each other.
We've learned a little bit about the history over the last couple weeks. Like we
Mhm.
had some
Oh, okay.
conversations while we were
Yeah.
there and some conversations with some people who've been speakers there for a long time. And that really is the heart of it. That's where it began, was with
Oh, interesting.
the mom who started it going to other moms and saying, I think that you have something that you could share. So I love that you did
That's
that.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
really, really cool that you were bold enough and you did have something to say. We both got so much out of the presentations we went to.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and
that.
yes, it was lovely that you weren't selling anything, but your session was the first session, and this was my 3rd year at the expo. Your
Oh, wow,
session
yeah.
was the first session I've ever been to that was interactive. And because it's one thing for someone to stand up and tell you, this is what you should do. This is what you
Yeah.
can do. Here's your bullet points.
Right.
You showed me how it was
Mm.
done. And I mean, I came out of there and I was like, Kat, the whole room sang Amazing Grace. The whole room did the Pledge of Allegiance. The whole room did da da da. And then her kid got up and recited this whole thing. I mean, I had chill bumps at one point. I think I had
Oh.
tears in my eyes at one point. Because one of my things that I say on my platform, we've said it here on the podcast, I don't want anything that I put out there to be unattainable to someone. If I
yeah.
am going to speak on it, if I am going to share it with you, it's because I want you to get there too. And I
Yes.
felt that. I have goosies right now.
Oh,
I
gosh.
felt that in your session of like, hey, this is how you do it. You can do this too. And I'm going to tell you right now, my family has been doing it ever since we started our school year. We do morning prayer requests and family prayers. We even call my husband because he's, at work. Then we go
Oh.
into our hymn study while I'm cooking breakfast. Then we do our CNN 10. And then we do 50 Nifty United States song. And we do 2 states a week. And we happened to be on Arizona when that dust storm was coming through. So we were able to look up. And it has been so life-giving. And when we finish, my kids know we're energized. Let's go clean up our breakfast and get outside. And it's just this beautiful gift that you gave to my family.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing! I'm so happy. Your listeners can't see me, but I'm smiling so much.
So our
I'm
listeners
so
know,
happy.
this was a session you did about morning time.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it was immersive.
Making the most of your mornings.
Your kids were there, your husband was there, your parents came to the conference.
I did.
It was
I
so
did.
beautiful, just like seeing you all move around the conference together.
The whole fan base.
Kayla came out from that session and was so excited and was, gushing the way she just was. And I was sitting there a little bit feeling bummed out because I have already built a morning routine that I don't want to break.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of morning time. And I've always been kind of like, man, I wish I hadn't done it this way, but we already have our thing and it's meaningful to us. And then Jessy said, you can do morning time any time of day. And my brain like broke in the convention center. It broke, it exploded. And then I like came back to myself and was like, that's right. It's my homeschool. I can do it however I want. So we have been doing ever since. I didn't even go to your session, but ever since we've been doing afternoon time. So we moved from lunch, we make some tea, and we have been doing poetry. We have been doing watercolor every day together. We have been doing a hymn study, looking at maps, and it's transformed our day. It has
Oh my
transformed our day.
gosh.
And I just
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
You're amazing. Thank you for sharing. And I
I'm
think
so happy about it.
this is what's like beautiful when homeschoolers share what's working for
Oh, yeah.
them and like what it looks like. And like Kayla said, not just like, here's 10 things to do, but like really let you into their world a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so they have asked me to come back next year.
As well they should.
So I have some new sessions that I'm gonna do, but they did specifically say if I can do the morning time one again. And I said, yeah, can I add some more to it? And they said, yeah, that's fine. So if you're listening to this and you're gonna be at the expo, I am gonna be doing that session again, and I am gonna make it fresh for people who maybe went last year and they saw me last year. I'm gonna make it fresh next year. So if you can make it, come and join us for that.
That's awesome. And we'll put the link to the information in the show notes. Okay, I got to go to a session with you on turning your backyard into your nature laboratory,
Yes.
which was so
Yes.
fun because I'm sort of known in our area as like the nature person. But it
Yeah.
was great because I learned new things from you or things that I've tried and it didn't work out. I got to
Right.
hear how you did it. And you brought, what did you bring? They were glow in the dark.
Leech millipedes.
Yes.
Leech millipede, and they glow in the dark. So cool.
And I came out gushing about that, and Kayla said that's why you went to that session and I didn't.
It's so cool though.
So
Nature is
cool.
so cool. Like it really
So
is.
cool. And
It's
like
so cool.
that's the energy you had, and it's just so contagious.
Yes.
And I loved that you gave us a worksheet where at the end it was which 3 ideas am I
Right.
going to try? And
Right.
I love when people get you to commit, right? Like it's that accountability buddy that you're now
Right.
like now feels like I'm accountable. I told
Yeah.
Jessy on this piece of paper. I took the piece of paper home. You don't even know what I said, but I said I was going to do this and so then I did it. But I also love that the flexibility of your saying, I'm going to share with you what we're doing in our backyard. I'm going to share with you what we're going to do in our morning time, but then you still got to go make it your own.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
and one of the great things that you did, I was sitting on the front row and there was a girl at the very end. And at one point she was like, oh my gosh, this is so much. I don't know that I can do this. And then you said, hey, guess what? If you don't currently have a morning time, and I'm sure it was the same in the nature thing. If you don't currently have a nature thing, pick 2 to 3 things. That's all.
Yep.
You don't have to, y'all have built this over time. You don't have to have these 7 things. Pick 2 to 3 things that feel valuable to your family and just start there. And it was just so like, oh, I can do that.
I could pick 2 things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how you went last year and had this idea. So, in a year's span, you put together these beautiful sessions. How did
That's
they
so
come
many.
about?
You had how many sessions did you have?
I did 6 sessions.
Yes.
Oh my
And they were all
gosh.
different.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, and I have the sessions too that I'm doing next year. If anybody is, I can maybe send them to you so that you can, share those. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, again, it's like you guys said, it's just what am I doing? What do I want to share? What do I think is valuable, right? So it's just taking from what's happening in my household. And in the same way, then I went to a few sessions and I want to hear what's happening in other people's households, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what we don't see. We don't see the day-to-day grind. We don't see the mom with the kid with the work. We don't see any of that. And so I think making that more visible, of like this is actually what we're doing here. Like, and how do we do it in a way that is meaningful and that works for everybody and that does not result in myself having a meltdown or my child having a meltdown?
Yeah.
Because that happens all too often in our house, I will say. As a side note, I have a cry closet. So I do have a place where I go when I need to cry. Just for transparency there.
Yeah.
I just want to hear from more people, and I think that expo is the perfect place for it. So if you're on the edge, even one of you guys, if you guys think you have something to share, you should write to them and just say, "Hey, I don't have anything to sell, but I sure would like to talk about this or whatever it is."
Well, it's in
Yeah.
the works. We've already started conversations about next year.
Yes,
Homeschooling
I
down
love
south at the
it!
Southeast
Oh
Homeschool
my
Expo.
gosh.
So yeah.
So then I can come to your sessions.
Because
we
our
would love that.
goal with this podcast, our goal with whatever we present at the expo is to show people what homeschooling down south can look like. these are
Totally.
all of the things that are available to you in your backyard.
Totally.
And these nature places that you can go, these experiences that you can have, programming like wild and free groups. We don't want people sitting in their homes wishing they could go and do, but they just don't know
Right.
what they can go and do. We want people to know everything that give them all the information, let them drink from the fire hydrant, and then they can choose. Again, they choose what's best for their family.
I love that so much. What a great vision you guys have through this podcast and through what you're doing.
Well,
I love it.
thank you.
Thank you. Well, one of the most fun parts that we get to talk to people like you. This has been
Yes.
an amazing part of this journey. So
This has been fun.
We always ask people's wins at the end. And that first week of homeschool, one of my wins was that we had successfully done our Jessy Fagerstrom morning time. We would love to hear a homeschooling win from you.
My eldest has some learning difficulties, but I feel like it's getting better. That's my win. My win is that
Yay.
we are making it through the lessons, through specifically math and language arts. We are making it through the lessons with smiles on our faces. That is
I
a
love
huge
it.
win
Huge.
in my household because we have, including myself, we have a lot of big emotions happening. We have a lot of big emotions. So yeah, I feel proud of it. I feel like this year already has been a step in the correct direction with that. So
That's awesome.
huzzah.
Yes,
Huzzah,
it
indeed.
feels so good. It feels
Yes.
so good.
So, Jessy, tell us about what you are offering for the homeschool community right now, in addition to all these wonderful presentations that you're giving, and how people can find those things and find you.
Awesome. Yes. So on Facebook, I am Modern Mrs. Frizzle. So that's modern underscore Mrs. MISSUS underscore Frizzle.
I love it.
Love it.
I'm channeling my my Miss Frizzle from Magic School Bus. I'm offering some homeschool coaching, and I have decided to set it at $1 per minute. So
I
that
love it.
makes it really accessible to people who only have $5 in their pocket. Because when I tell you I've been there, I have been there. And so if you have one question, if you have a million questions and you want to sit on the phone for an hour with me, that's awesome too. So $1 a minute. Homeschool coaching and just any way that I can give back to the community and help people out. So that you can find me on Instagram, Modern Mrs. Frizzle, and I'd love to help you.
So if somebody books a session with you, what kinds of things are they allowed to ask you?
Great question. So I have been doing everything from the nuts and bolts of what your child does on a day-to-day basis, but I've also been doing a lot, actually surprisingly, when it comes to home systems. So making your home work for you, making your schoolroom work for you. And that has been really, really interesting. And I have found that a lot of families are really into that because they kind of know what they want, the curriculum that they want to have their child do, or they have real big feelings about that. But it's about making the home an efficient workplace that they don't have to constantly be picking up, or that the home can actually work for you. So, but again, I'm open to whatever people want to talk about in relationship to homeschooling, but home systems is also a big ticket right now.
I love it. And here's the cool thing. I mean, like, clearly, that we both have attended sessions with Jessy and we endorse
I appreciate
sessions with Jessy, whether you are
100%.
coming to the Southeast Homeschool Expo, where she is a featured speaker in 2026, or if you are like, I can't make it to Atlanta that weekend, this is so great. You can
Yeah.
still sit and have some of Jessy's amazing wisdom.
And
We're
spend
so
$5.
excited.
$5
Spend $5.
for 5 minutes, and can always come back for more.
I love it. That's so
And I
cool,
love how
Jessy.
accessible you're making it.
Yeah, because many of us are living on a single income,
Yeah.
and it's not easy, and our funds are very precious, right? Like we have to really be precious with the money that we spend. So for anybody that just needs an extra pat on the back and some one-on-one coaching, we can offer
Yeah.
that.
And Jessy, I just want to say, like, you're giving and pouring so much into homeschool moms, homeschool families, while
Thanks.
you're still doing it. And it's just really admirable and inspirational. And it's
Yeah.
just, we're so lucky to know you.
Well, I think
Yes.
you guys are equally giving so much of your time and energy to provide people with resources and just to be fun speakers in the homeschool world. Like, I just love listening to your podcast. We were talking about that before of like, it's just so much fun. And I've gotten so many little tidbits that have been really helpful. So thank you guys for
Good.
listening too.
Oh,
Thank
thanks.
you. And if someone is in the northern Atlanta area and they are curious about the Wild and Free group, where can they find information about how to join?
Yes. So we are Wild Plus Free. So plus sign Wild Plus Free Gwinnett County. But of course, there are wild and free groups all over that you can find by just going to bewildandfree.org, I believe it is,
Yes.
bewildandfree.org. So certainly if you don't live in Gwinnett County, I'm confident that there's so many others like cats, Wild and Free that you can find. But we specifically are Wild Plus Free Gwinnett County on Facebook.
Awesome. Kayla, where can the people find you?
You can find me at scratchmadesimple_ on Instagram and at scratchmadesimple on TikTok. And Kat, where can they find you?
I'm at Recreating Camp on Instagram and Facebook. And of course, you can find us at Homeschooling Down South on all of the socials.
And if you liked today's episode, we would love a 5-star rating and review wherever you listen. And share it with a friend and bring a friend to the Southeast Homeschool Expo and meet Jessy in person because she's amazing. And we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks, Jessy.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
And we'll love together, we'll learn together, explore this whole wide world together. No matter where we are, I have you, you have me, and today that's all we need.